Well, in the early '80s, people were either working 6 3/4 hours or 8 hours with the city. We negotiated with the city what we called a compressed work week. So instead of working 6 3/4 hours a day for 5 days a week and 10 days in a 2-week period, you would work 7.5 hours a day, and then every second Friday you would get off.
Or Monday, or...
Yeah, or a Monday, or whatever you decided. So it really meant that every second week you got a long weekend. And of course, if there was a long weekend included in that, well, then you would have 4 days off. So initially, it was we thought it was a great idea. But even coming from our own survey guys at that time, some of them were a little disappointed in it because that would mean they would miss out on some overtime. And then you would have some 6 3/4 hour people that were saying, geez, why in the hell would I work 7.5 hours a day? How am I ever going to work that? It's hard enough to work 6 3/4 hours a day. How am I going to work 7.5? Well, and then we had a whole group of people that said, hey, this is really good. Mm-hmm. And, the managers were even patting us on the back because, it sounded pretty darn good to them too, that they could get this. If the employees got it, then they could press to get it. And actually, we negotiated that clause with Ken Kruckowitz and I think Lydia and Harold, and they were in charge of human resources at that time, or labor relations. And to this day, I would say that if the city ever tried to take away compressed work week, that would be a strike issue. Yeah. And after a while, even the people that had all the complaints and they could see somebody taking off for a long weekend every second weekend, it didn't take long before that was a pretty standard.
It was negotiated, and I think the union management end of it really helped it out, because every single area that applied, you had to apply. You had to work out the logistics, and so both the union office was involved with the scheduling and things of that nature. And it spun off. The computer resources areas and things of that nature that always had trouble because keeping the 24-hour thing, it spun off, and people were working 410s and getting off. And then we got the police department and the fire department, communication people, and it became quite, and it survived, I think, because, and it's still surviving now, because it was worked out between the administration and the employees. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the administration ended up with it too. So it was a benefit for everybody. So everybody made it work.